culture, religion, what is the vision?
Welcome to Random Thoughts. Ray Sean Blyden here. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe. Kamala knee pad Harris. That is who we're going to talk about today. Harris can't escape the human toll of her dismal border record as the border czar. It doesn't say that here, but she was the border czar. Right, Kamala? Yeah, everything is a joke for this lady. So Kamala Harris is peddling lies as she insists in a slick new campaign ad and at rallies that she'll be tough on the border crisis. Oh my Lord. When are you going to be tough on the border, Kamala?
Okay.
Yeah.
In 1864.
I figured. In the past life when none of us was alive, right? You stupid twit. Fixing the border is tough. So is Kamala Harris, a narrator in tones in her August 7th ad. She's directly challenged former President Donald Trump on border security. Lady, please. It's twit, please. I will proudly put my record against his any day of the week, she said at an Atlanta rally. And the crowd just laughed and said, it's please, including, for example, on the issue of immigration. It's please. So why hasn't anyone in the media asked the vice president about her record? Because they're in the tank for her, of course. And she's been ducking and hiding them. She's been hiding in Joe Biden's basement like he did in 2020. I don't want to even get into that, which got my political bomb show YouTube channel banned because he didn't like what I said about that and what I said about a first lady. I'm not going to get into it. I'll ban myself from there because Kamala Harris is responsible for our current border crisis. 2 weeks in President Biden's term, he handed off a major task to VP, leading the administration's diplomatic efforts to address the root cause of migrant from El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. News outlets at the time rightly deemed her as the border czar. Border czar. That's exactly what you were. I wonder if this, let's see, does this bring me, let's see if this links bring me to the border czar link here. Let's see if border, yes, here we go. So we'll read that story next. Again, I'm not doing as many shows this week because I am working on books. So let's we'll get back to the border czar link or border czar story. Once I could find the other story where it's, oh, here we go. So news outlets at the time rightly deemed her the border czar. You know, since I'm talking about it right now, I think that we might as well get to that and then get back into this story because we're talking about the border czar now. So let me just switch this up to the borders. Whoops, wrong thing here. Come on. Where is it? Where are you? Okay, here we go. Let's switch this to border czar. I'm starving. Border czar. Here we go. Border czar Kamala la 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 laughingly patting Harris unburdened herself of responsibility to secure the country. Border czar Kamala Harris's record on the crisis at America's borders is now in sharp focus, and the increased scrutiny reveals one of failure and dereliction. Before examining that record, let's note that until just recently, it was uncontroversial, why I say that, it was uncontroversial to label the vice president as the border czar, but just because they don't want to own up to it. She was officially tasked by Poopy Pants Biden on May 24, 2021, to lead our efforts with Mexico and the Northern Triangle in stemming the movement of migration to our southern border. And you could look the story up yourself. I'm not going to keep going backwards from story to story to story, otherwise we'll be here all day. And so there you have that. Lovely picture, isn't it? Just remember that when you go vote in November. The Washington Post reported that Biden was giving Harris the lead role on the overall border and regional issue, while outlets like Axel even actually labeled her the border czar. I wish I had that montage where everyone in the media was calling her the border czar, and all of a sudden now she's not the border czar. Understanding then that Harris has long held responsibility for ending this self-inflicted crisis, Americans deserves answers on whether she followed through on her charge. I'm trying to see if they have a video of her. They don't have any video. That's too bad. I wanted to just let you know, this is why I should do some more planning. But I wasn't planning on talking about this. Let's see. Media calls Kamala border czar. Let's see if anything comes up or if the search engine try to bury it. Pop my headphones on. See if I could find it here. Let's see here. Let's click on videos. Let's see. And of course, all the videos are not showing me what I want. So I might get back to the original story in a second. Let me just see. Let's see what I could find. Here we go. Montage. Liberal media tries to downplay Kamala. I don't know if this is the one I'm looking for. Let's see. Let's see if this is the one. I don't know if this is the one or not. It's probably not it. Montage. Liberal media tries to downplay. I don't want them trying to downplay. No, this is not what I want. I don't want them downplaying it. I want the actual one. Let's see. Let's type in montage. Montage. Why is my phone blowing up? Montage of media. I gotta get a new phone. That phone just notification for no reason. Stupid Android. Okay, I have Android and Apple, but this stupid Android phone, I have to update it. Let's see, media montage. I know someone did before I saw it. It was hilarious. I'm looking. Give me a second. Is VP Harris? Yes, she is. Why can't I find that? Why can't I find it? They probably flagged it so no one could see it. They probably did that. Because I'm not finding, I'm looking through tons of videos here and I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. So I think they may have gotten rid of it. I did. Wait, flashback borders are Kamala's Harris got called out. That's only 15 seconds. That can't be it. Come on, where is this? Anyway, let's go with this one. Let's go with this. It's a montage, Kamala versus tough questions. Yeah, let's see how smart she is. Let's just get to this. Hold on, let me change this up. This is on Rumble. All right, here we go. Let's see how smart Kamala Harris is. And you tell me if this is someone you want to vote for. Ready?
At what point does the administration say, you know what, this strategy isn't working, we're going to change strategies? 6 former administration officials last week wrote that open letter urging the administration to change course, to change strategy. Is it time?
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree that there are things and tools that are available to us to slow this thing down.
What does that even mean? What did she just say? She said nothing that made sense there. I mean, my dogs could have answered that question better.
And so right now we know we still have a number of people that is in the millions of Americans who have not been vaccinated and could be vaccinated, and we are urging them to get vaccinated because it will save their life.
At what point does the administration acknowledge these people aren't going to get the shot? They're just not going to do it.
I don't believe in giving up on people, Craig.
Sometimes I'll start a sentence, and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way.
He couldn't. That's perfect editing. That's perfect. That's exactly what the itch is doing.
Do you plan to visit the border?
Not today, but I have before, and I'm sure I will again.
Russia, is there any sign that Russia is heeding the U.S. warnings to back off of Ukraine?
I cannot talk to you about classified information, but we, of course, remain very concerned about what's happening there.
Are we going to see the same Democratic ticket in 2024?
I'm sorry, we are thinking about today. I mean, honestly, I know why you're asking the question, because this is the part of the punditry and the gossip around places like Washington, D.C. Let me just tell you something. We're focused on the things in front of us.
What is she focused on? Because as far as I can tell, you're a blithering idiot. You really are. You're a fool. I don't know how, I can't put it nicely. I know I have to be Christ-like. Pastor Joe tells me this all the time. Not just me, but the congregation. We have to be Christ-like. I know it's not Christ-like to call someone an idiot, but she's an idiot.
I heard him talk about the other stuff, and then that came later, and it was not something that I really heard or processed or, or in any way condone. That's for sure.
What does that even mean?
Don't ever, for any reason, do anything to anyone, for any reason, ever, no matter what, no matter where or who you were with.
Which tweet? What tweet?
About saying that it is a modern day lynching, that
Sorry.
Jesse Smollett.
Okay, so I will say this about that case. I think that the facts are still unfolding, and I'm very concerned about, obviously.
I think it's important to follow up on the Havana syndrome incident that delayed your travel here. Do you have any sense of who was behind that? And considering that these incidents have happened all over the world over the past 5 years, what do you say to diplomats that are concerned for their safety? And is the U.S. doing anything to address that situation? And then I have a follow-up on Afghanistan.
I could see, you know how back in the day when you would have cartoons and, for lack of a better word, the dumb character would be thinking about doing something, and they would cut to footage of a mouse in their brain running on a mouse wheel. That's what's going on in her head right now. She has no idea what to say here. Let's see if I'm right.
Okay. On the issue of the health incidents, and we call them anomalous, as you've mentioned, health incidents, I will tell you that we're looking into it, and I'm not able to share much more at this time.
She's not. The reason why she's not able to share anymore is because she can't. She's an idiot. I can't put it nicely. I'm sorry, Pastor Joe. I know. I have to be more Christ-like. I try, but politics just brings the worst out of. Well, not the worst. It brings when people lie blatantly. It's yeah. I have to call it out. I can't just listen to them lie and just not say anything, because there's two things I don't like. I don't like a liar and a thief. Those are two things that I am just not going to put up with. So I have to call it out. I really do. What is this one? Let's see if this one. Let's see what this is.
While inflation is down
Let's
and
put this up
wages
here.
are up, prices are still too high. And when we win this election, here's what we're going to do about it. On day one, I will take on price gouging and bring down costs.
When she wins the election?
Yeah, okay, so this is not what I'm looking for here, but how is she going to win the election? You know, I'm not going to get into the 2020 stuff because that got my political bombshell banned, and I'm sure that YouTube hasn't changed their stance on shilling for the Democrat Party. So I will not get into how she would win the election if she did win. I'm not going to get into it. I really will not get into that. I'll give a couple more minutes searching. If I can't find it, then I can't find it. But they may have scrubbed it off the website here. They may have scrubbed it because I'm not seeing it. And there was montage everywhere of her the media calling her that. A montage of some of Kamala's socialist. Okay, this is a good one. We'll end on this one. This is a montage of some of Kamala's socialist moments. So if you really want to know the true Kamala and not just pretend Kamala that she pretends to be so she can get independents to vote for her, this is the real Kamala right here. Right here coming up. Here we go.
There's a great district attorney in San Francisco whose name is Kamala Harris. She's brilliant, she's smart, she doesn't look anything like anybody you ever see on Law and Order, yet she's tough and she's got a big future. And they call her the female Barack Obama.
Just the female Barack Obama.
But if you don't have to dig very deep to find out, there are a whole lot of people just like him.
I grew up as a child of two parents who met when they were graduate students at Berkeley and were actively involved in the civil rights movement. They were marching all the time, and I was marching too.
Harris was a California co-chair for Senator Barack Obama's 2008 presidential bid. She campaigned for him in several states.
One of the issues that I believe will be addressed by Barack Obama is reviving the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department. When we look at the situation that we are facing in our country, there are a lot of folks that need our help.
And they need our help because we know that the only way true change occurs is when we mobilize from the ground up. But it is going to require us as soldiers in the field to help the president push this reform forward, because that change will happen not just in changing the face of the White House, but changing the face of our country when it comes to our poor, when it comes to those who need access to education.
Sound like someone you want to vote for? If you this still sounds like someone you want to vote for, I would love to know in the comments below why.
When it comes to those who need to have a country who sees the most vulnerable among us, there is a lot of good work in the history of this country that has happened through the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice and needs to continue to happen. There are still challenges on every level around issues such as hate crime, environmental justice, and other crimes.
Sounds like gobbledygook to me. How about the crimes that BLM did back in the day? What about those crimes? You don't hold their feet to the fire, but the J6, which many of these people didn't do anything that would require them to spend that long a time in jail. Most of them were invited in. How about them apples, lady? How about Antifa?
That frankly need a priority from the Department of Justice to be addressed. Heroes for me growing up were the architects of the Civil Rights Movement. They were the lawyers, and they used the tool of the law to remind the world through the United States Supreme Court of what justice really looks like. So I decided I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a prosecutor.
Let's not forget what kind of person she was. My black brothers out there. You want to vote for someone like that who kept you locked up even though you were supposed to be released?
Imagine going to my family and extended family and having that discussion was quite an experience.
Harris, the daughter of civil rights activists, credits her parents with teaching by example.
They were marching and shouting about this thing we call justice. I wanted to be able to have the power of the prosecutor.
So her parents are the ones to blame for her socialist behavior, huh? I see.
Be the voice about what justice should look like and what justice would look like if it were to be relevant to certain communities.
Missing school may not only affect your child's education, it can also be a crime in the city of San Francisco.
Public education is the difference between having a life that is successful or a life behind bars. There's a direct connection between education and crime.
So then obviously...
Are you listening to this, Itch?
Chronic truancy.
The most that we want is that this child just goes to school.
So what are you doing?
So we started a mediation process, and it's been fantastic because when the principal would otherwise call the parent and say, you know, Miss Smith, Johnny's not in class, would you return my call? Call went unanswered. Now principal calls and says, Miss Smith, you know, Johnny's not in class, and by the way, that DA Kamala Harris said she might prosecute you and send you to jail, and the call gets returned.
Yeah.
I hope you're taking that in. This evil lady is celebrating that if your child misses school, that she's more than happy to prosecute you and throw you in jail.
Yeah.
Well, so literally prosecution means like what? It's a felony misdemeanor. You could go to jail, fine.
Would likely result in that parent being sent to jail.
Wow.
I've watched people get taken off the job sites and replaced by people from Guatemala. I mean, it's outrageous. It's just irritating, and we need to do something about it.
These are people who've broken our laws to come here. According to the Constitution, they would be considered enemy invaders.
Immigrant rights advocates say the Minutemen are breeding intolerance and hate. Claudia Rivera spent her Saturday at this immigrant resource fair in San Francisco, sponsored by District Attorney Kamala Harris.
Your immigrant status, whatever it is, does not in our mind's eye designate you as a criminal.
Harris.
Are you listening to what this evil socialist beast just said? So you're telling me, you stupid twit, that if someone comes into the country illegally, that's not a crime in your eyes? I hope you're drinking in all the radical things she's saying here, that the media is covering up because they're trying to paint her to be someone that's moderate. She's not.
Harris wants immigrants to know that San Francisco police and prosecutors will protect illegal immigrants. Claudia Rivera says she came here illegally 3 years.
Are you listening? they're going to protect illegal immigrants. So in her eyes, illegal immigrants, it's not criminal behavior. All right,
Years ago and needs a good job, medical services, and yes, citizenship.
Patriotism. It's a word that gets thrown around. And in my opinion, there are two definitions of patriotism. And what is a patriot? The first is that person who defends their country whatever it does. The second is the kind of patriot I am, and I believe you are. And that's the kind of patriot who believes in the promise of our country. It is the person who believes that we are and can be a real democracy in a place that is all about equality and treating all men and women equal.
This is a talking point that idiot Democrats don't seem to understand. This is not a freaking democracy. Let's here, put your hand there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Say this other part, very important. On to the what? Republic for which it stands. So we are not a democracy, and one nation under God.
Regardless of their race, gender, sexual orientation, or ethnic background. And at the end of my 8 years, I promise you, everyone will be wearing an American flag on their lapel.
When people question your blackness, you were on that bus, you were part of the civil rights movement, but the struggle is convincing people that this is a strong black woman who lived a strong black life, and why is there any question?
You're right, it's frustrating.
Have you ever smoked?
I have.
Okay. Like in
And
college,
I inhale. I did inhale.
This part, so black people, especially in California, you got locked away for something that she went on this show, Solomon, The Breakfast Club, and laughed and joking about it.
It was a long time ago. Listen, I think that it gives a lot of people joy, and we need more joy.
What do you see as the biggest national security challenge confronting the U.S.? What is the thing that worries you?
I haven't seen this, but I could imagine that she's gonna say white supremacy. That's all that idiot Democrats, leftists, communist people say.
And keeps you up at night.
Frankly, one of them is our democracy. And that I could talk about because that's not classified.
So shocked.
It really does. The threats to our nation take many forms, including the threat of autocracies taking over and having outsized influence around the world.
I think it's very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present.
What that even mean? What, lady? I can't take any more of her. I can't take any more of her. I have to end it with her. I can't, in good conscience, put you through the waterboarding of listening to that anymore, because I want to pull my ears off and pour hot wax in my ears and I have to listen to that. Sickening lady. Unbelievable. Really insane. Yeah. I don't think yeah, there's not much more. I don't want to say talk about her anymore. I'm done. I'm done listening to her stupid stuff that she has to say here. Okay, I'm not gonna play that. Yeah, that's it. That's it, folks. I can't listen to her anymore. She's her voice is like chalkboard. Like, you know when you put fingernails on a chalkboard? That's what I'm getting from her. That's what I get from listening to her. I can't listen anymore. That's all I got. Leave a like, share, and subscribe. And remember, she's not moderate at all. She is far left cookie knee pad Harris.
Random thoughts practice